Sorry about that, folks. We had a little bit of an internet outage. We had to start a new stream. We're just going to give the players a couple minutes to share that stream out to their family and friends. And then we will be back to live action. Dan Gross did win that last rack. So now we're at a race to 2. And we will be back shortly. All right, we are back. Dan broke off there in rack 11. Dry break brings Larry back to the table. It's a good shot on the 1 ball. Not a great spot for the 2 ball to be in. Let's see what Larry can come up with. Larry comes off the 2 ball, leaves Dan some distance. Good pot there. Has a good shot in the 3 ball in the bottom left corner. You can just stop it right there for the 4. Misses the 3 ball, but leaves it in a tough spot for Larry. I don't believe he can cut it in the side. So he's going to have to come up with a defensive play. Balling in here for Dan. Can just roll this down. For the 4 ball, make sure you leave an angle. Elects to come to the other side. It's not bad. He can just come 2 rails out of that bottom right corner. Dan upset with himself for that miss, but Larry comes to the table. I don't believe, with a look on the 4 ball, looks like he's trying to slightly swerve it. Great shot there. I don't think he could see that clean. I think he had to swerve that, which makes the shot a lot more difficult. Looking at playing the combo here, 4 into the 8. Just want to roll this in to leave the 5 ball hanging over the pocket, or he tried to play it. That's a really creative, good shot there by Larry, playing the 5 ball off the back of the 8. He's got the wrong angle on the 6, but I think it's still doable. Tried to hold it up for the 7. That's what caused the miss. Might have had to move the cue ball there. Eric in the chat says, "Go Lars." Appreciate you tuning in, Eric. Dan with a really friendly roll there. Hooks Larry behind the 7. Really has no choice but to kick this one rail off the top short rail and hope for the best. Really just concentrate on making contact here. You don't want to give Dan ball in hand with 4 balls on the table. It's never good. Slow rolls it. This has a chance. Played that really nicely, and when I say really nicely, played that with the proper speed. You know, he makes that 6 ball, he's got a shot on the 7, but if he doesn't, he's going to leave Dan exactly where he left him here, behind the 9. Dan looking to play this length of the table. He definitely can make this. Plays that great. Oh. Played that really well, judged it really well. You would have liked to see that go down for Dan. Fortunately, leaves Larry the 6 ball hang and just can come above the 7, but I think the speed got him there. I think he was afraid of over-rolling it, and he under-rolled it. I think he's expecting the English to take off that rail a little more than it did. You know, sometimes you can play a shot with a little less speed if you use a little bit more English. I think that's what he was hoping for there based on the English that I saw on the cue ball. But follows it up with an excellent defensive play, leaving Dan behind the 9 ball. But should be a pretty simple 1 rail kick here. I think you just got to watch your speed here. With where that 8 ball is, you got a really good chance of tying up the 7 and the 8 if you play it with the proper speed. You know, the cue ball is not going to go that far if you make solid contact. Yeah, I think he let perfection be the enemy of good on that shot. Tried to thin it and, you know, leave the cue ball up table, and as a result, he misses the 7 ball altogether and leaves Dan with a pretty easy 3 ball out here. Larry plays it where he's got a little bit of an angle on the 8. I think he can draw it to the right side of the 9, if I'm seeing this correctly. Or you may just want to play this with follow. Okay, he does draw it back. Just maybe doesn't dig into the cue ball as much as he had hoped. Really important shot here. Larry's got to take his time and just make sure he's putting a good stroke on it. He hangs it. And with a chip-in 9 ball here, Dan Gross is going to go to the hill after being down 7-1. Dan makes it. Dan Gross is on the hill. So Dan Gross needs 1 more to complete the comeback. Larry needs 2 to avoid the comeback and to take the match. We have one of Larry's fans in the chat. Z Video says Larry is king. I guess we'll see. Nine balls do not count on the break. So we're not going to have a golden break in the match. These players are going to have to work for it. Dan does make the 6 ball in the side pocket. Doesn't have anything great on the 1 ball. he can do here. Is he looking to cut the one ball? He is. What a great shot there by Dan. Looks like he's got enough angle to punch it over for the 3 ball. He's going to have to play the combo here. The big thing with a shot like this is just making sure you're controlling that secondary ball. So you want to make sure that you're playing this to the thin side of the pocket. That was the right way to play it. Dan grabs the bridge. He's going to try to draw this back out, I believe. He tries to come up. Leaves himself nice on that 5 ball. Just really needs to roll up here. Just roll up, leave yourself a nice angle on the 7 ball to maybe come under the 8 ball and play it in the same pocket as the 7. And he misses it. Okay, Larry, let's see what you got here. Certainly a defensive play here, I would assume. Trying to maybe bring that cue ball behind the 7. That's what he does. He just hits the 5 ball a little bit too full. Not sure if Dan's going to give this one a go in the side pocket. It is on. But Dan plays a smart shot there. Just plays that 2 rails up to the top rail and makes Larry work for it here. See if Larry maybe just tries to thin off the left side of the 5. Bring the cue ball towards that left long rail and just leave the 5 ball on the right long rail. Got a couple different options here. Could try to thin off the right side of the 5 and just try to bring the cue ball back down by the corner pocket that he's bridging over. Don't like that as much. Okay, he plays the first shot that I said, but just gets a little bit too much of the 5 ball, which is going to give Dan an opportunity here to close this match out. Looks like he could just come 1 rail. Back towards the spot. And just kind of take a long shot. Okay. Gets aggressive. Just want to make sure you got a look on the 7, which he does. Let's see if he gets aggressive here and tries to cut the 7 ball in, or he tries to bank the 7 ball back up table and maybe try to use the 8 as a blocker. Dan taking his time here, which is understandable. He's on the hill. He's looking to close this match out after being down 7-1. Just want to make sure you don't give anything away here. And he goes for the bank. Comes off the 9 ball, but I think the 7 ball is going to get high. It's not going to leave Larry an easy cut shot, or really a cut shot at all. I think this is another defensive play. Just try to maybe leave the cue ball back down at the bottom rail and just play the 7 ball up behind the 8. It's touchy, but don't really know too many other options here. That's what he does. I think he might have hit it a little bit too hard. I think Dan can make this. He's looking at it. He's down. He's looking at it. He's hoping. Crossing his fingers, crossing his toes. Looking at it from the other angle.
That's what you're asking her about, right? Yeah.
Takes a swing at it. Is he going to get lucky? He's not. Touchy shot there by Larry. Was looking to try to get it behind the 8.
I love the hair tie. Killed me.
Nice shot there by Dan. He plays that perfectly. He's going to have a really good angle here if he can. The stretch might get him, but if he can draw this back, he should be able to play the 9 in the side. I think that's the play based on the angle that I'm seeing. Playing it with the bridge definitely doesn't make it easier. But I think the draw shot here is the play. Leave yourself an easy shot on the 9, or he's looking maybe just to stop it, just take his medicine on the 9 ball. Okay. And this is for the victory. Dan chalking up his stick. If he buries this, he would complete a pretty epic comeback, down 7-1. Everybody in the room is holding their breath while Dan's down on the shot. And he cuts it in. Smooth as butter. Dan Gross takes the victory. 7-5. We do have another match coming up here at Bison Billiards in just a couple minutes. It's going to feature Dan Rizzo versus Dominic Feramusca. For those of you who have never visited Bison Billiards, just to tell you a little bit about the room, it's got 35 pool tables. Weekly, we do host 22 BCA teams, 51 APA teams. We have 7 teams on our ladies league. We have 8 teams on a masters league. So it's 75 teams weekly, plus 15 teams once a month. There's always a lot of action here at Bison Billiards. Friendly people, great food, great beverages. So if you've never been here, I would definitely recommend stopping in and seeing what the fuss is about. If you're a competitive player or you're just a player that is trying to begin to compete, we do a tournament here every Saturday of the year. And we got a big one coming up here December 6th and 7th. We're having a $5,000 added weekend tournament. $4,000 added bar box 8-ball tournament, and then additionally a $1,000 added second chance tournament on Sunday, along with the final 16 of Saturday's tournament finishing on Sunday. It's going to be Fargo based. Entry fees under 540, under 600. 60, under 780, under 800. If you're at that pro level, $100. And if you're over 800, $120 entry fee. All right, we're just going to take a quick short break, and then we'll be back with our next match. We'll just keep the stream going, and we hope you stick around. Jason Wolf, I'll see if I can get that signed pool stick for you from Dan. I'll go talk to him now. Thanks, everyone. All right, folks, welcome back. Our next match is just a few moments away from beginning. We have Dan Rizzo versus Dominic Fieramusca in a race to 9 ball. Dan with the opening break. Breaking from the right side. Makes the 3 ball in the bottom left corner. And leaves himself a good shot on the 1 ball. Good natural path to come back between the 4-8 for the 2 ball. Just looking to remove the magic rack. I hope you stayed with us after that really exciting match that just ended between Dan and Larry. Dan with an epic comeback to take that match 5-7. Dan with an opening miss on the 1 ball brings Dominic to the table, looking to draw this back for the 2 ball. Both players with a shaky start. Just looking to get their bearings. Does appear that Dan has a opportunity to make this 1 ball in the bottom right corner past the 6. Just both players shaking off a little rust. I know that both of these players are quite familiar with each other. I know they match up frequently in 1 pocket pool. Today, they're taking a stab at 9 ball. Dominic plays a pretty nice defensive shot there to leave the cue ball behind the 2. And Dan's going to be looking to kick here. 2 rails to come behind the 1. Just barely misses that 1 ball. It's going to give Dominic ball in hand. 7 ball comes back down near the 2 and the 4. But with ball in hand, really does take away the trouble position of this rack, which was the 1 to the 2. Dominic doesn't want to overroll it. He doesn't. Can just pop out back for the 4. It's a little extra spin on that one. It comes a little bit further than I believe he was hoping. A little hampered by the 5 ball. They are playing all ball fouls. You just got to be careful not to make contact with that 5 ball, or it would be ball in hand for Dan Rizzo. Dominic avoids that but misses the 4 ball. Leaves Dan with a really good angle here. Can just play this with some bottom left. Come out to the middle of the table for the 5 ball. You don't want to come much further than that. Plays that perfectly. Because now you got a really good angle to come 2 rails off the top left corner and play the 6 ball in the bottom left, which is really the only pocket I think it goes. So he was a little bit forced into that position. Does that. Elects not to come off the 3rd rail. Now this is an interesting shot. He can play this a couple different ways. He can try to maybe float above the 8, or he could come all the way down table. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to try to just come above the 8. Does that, but misses the 6. Dominic gets ready to knock the 6 ball in and try to find a path up table for the 7 ball. He doesn't do it. Let's see early on here. We're in rack 1. Let's see how aggressive these players want to get. I mean, you have a bank shot here, but you can also play defensively. I think Dominic's going to go for it. He does. Plays it with a lot of speed. It just bends off that second rail. Doesn't give you an opportunity to make it in the opposite side. The angle on the monitor says that Dan has a cut on the 7 ball, but looking at the table live, I think it's a little bit more severe. So again, how aggressive do you want to get? You know, it's the opening rack. You don't want to give your opponent an advantage. Do you maybe just float this 7 ball down to the bottom rail? No, it looks like he's going to go for it. Second guesses, gets up off the shot. Back down on it. Great shot there. Does he get an unlucky kiss? He does. That really is unlucky because, you know, when you got a sharp cut like that, you're really just letting the cue ball go. You know, you're focusing on making the shot. You really can't predict where the cue ball is going to go, especially off of a kiss. And it does scratch. Leaves Dominic with ball in hand on the 8-9. Pretty simple to go up here 1-0. He does pocket both the 8 and the 9. Goes up 1-0 in this race to 9. We really do encourage you to be interactive in the chat. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, turning your notifications on. We're going to have a lot of great action on the billiard stream here at Bison Billiards. Premier pool hall here in Western New York, located in Clarence, just inside the Eastern Hills Mall. Beautiful pool hall here. If you haven't ever visited us, we have 35 pool tables. We have diamond pool tables. We have Rasam pool tables. We have tables of different sizes. We have a 3-cushion table. So really something for everyone. Good break there by Dominic. Gets a nice spread. Hangs that template rack up on the light. Gets that out of the way, and let's see what he can do on this 1 ball. I don't think that there's an offensive shot here. I think you're just really looking to Dominic thinks otherwise. He says there is an offensive shot. I'm just going to cut this in the right corner pocket. Comes close but doesn't make it. And leaves Dan the shot here. To maybe just come around to the middle of the table. It's a tough shot to judge the speed, and not sure if he was trying to come above the 2 or if the 2 does go in the side. He played that nicely. Just gonna. Okay. Just played it with some bottom right, spun it off the long rail. Tried to get Dominic behind the 5. Just rolls it a little bit too far. Dominic with a nice shot here on the 2 ball. A lot of distance though, those are never easy. Got to make sure you stay still. Any body movement can get you, and I think that that is what got him on that shot. Dan Rizzo down on the 2 ball, going to come underneath the 7. And just, yeah, both players just trying to find their way here in rack 2.
If you want to spend some time one day, we can undownload that thing and try and get both mics working. That should be tough.
Another miss on the 2 ball, and after some back and forth, I would bet a substantial amount of money that Dan Rizzo is going to make this 2 ball and get here. And I'm glad I didn't bet a substantial amount of money. I'd be on the streets. All right. Let's go, Dominic. Make this 2 ball. All right. Starting to get sick of seeing that 2 ball on the table. I'm glad Dominic could put it away. He's got a good angle on the 4 ball to come across for the 5. I don't believe the 5 passes the 8. So I don't know if he's going to maybe try to go into it. Comes under the 8 and causes them to miss the 4. Bridging over the 9 ball. Dan looking to cut that 4 ball up table. That's not a bad shot though, because even if you do miss, you know, you're setting yourselves up for Dominic having a really tough job to get on the 5 ball, which he doesn't do. He's going to have to play this rail first. Maybe try to come into the 8 ball. Got to really get under the 5 ball here. Doesn't. See if he gets a roll. All right, Dan can see the 5 ball. Nothing offensive. Really good shot there. Just plays the 5 ball under the 9 ball. Dominic seeing if he can go rail first to hit it and possibly make it. Just chops at it. He's going to leave Dan with the shot here on the 5 ball. Should just be able to draw this off the rail. Back up for the 7 in the same pocket. Yeah, just both players having a difficult time pocketing balls here early in the match. I know both of these players very well. I've played both of them many times and can tell you they're both better ball pocketers than they're showing right now. I expect that to change. That's a good shot by Dominic. Using the 7 ball as a blocker. It's tough to see if Dan has a piece of the 5. It doesn't look like he does. He's pulling out shorty. He's going to the air. Clips the 7 ball. That'll be ball in hand for Dominic. And maybe I didn't see that. Looked like he may have caught a piece of the 7, but both players are closer to the table than I am. That might get Dan in stroke here. Maybe it took a shot like that to kind of loosen up the back arm and get things going here. trying to roll this 8-ball in. Gets a nice kiss off the 9, and pretty simple shot here on the 9-ball to tie the match up 1-1. And he sinks it. So we have a 1-1 score here going into rack 3. Dan Rizzo breaking here in rack 3 with the tie score 1-1. Moving his coin. Breaking from the right side. He had good success with that on his opening break. He's making that wing ball, so I don't think he'll be changing up anything on the break. But I don't think he has an obvious shot here on the 1. See if he gets that magic rack out of the way. Is he looking to cut the 1? Can't tell. Does he come out far enough for the 2? He doesn't, so he leaves himself hooked. See how Dan attacks this 2-ball. Doesn't look like he has enough room to come under the 8. He's going to play this. Maybe he can clip a piece of it. Can. Tries to just leave distance, maybe get behind that 9-ball. Good result there for Dan. Leaves Dominic tough on this 2-ball. We have one of Dominic's fans in the chat, John Amoya. Says, "Get him, cuz." Dominic just playing a safe shot there, just bringing the 2-ball back down. Knowing that the 9-ball and the 5-ball are close to that corner pocket. It's not going to leave Dan with anything easy here. Just plays the 2-ball looking to get behind the 9. And that's an excellent shot. Dominic's pretty wedged up on this 9-ball. Don't believe that the side rail is in play, so, you know, the path to hit this 2-ball is not very clear. He's going to try to play this with some left spin, come out of the corner. Does contact the 5-ball first, but it was a good attempt. Came pretty close to hitting that 2-ball. Dan looking to see what he wants to do on this 4-ball, 5-ball down here by the bottom right corner. See if he can come out of this top corner. Yeah, he overcut that, I think, because he was maybe worried about the scratch. Sometimes when that's in the back of your mind, when you're not sure if that cue ball is going to scratch, you either undercut it or overcut it, trying to compensate. Looks like Dominic's got a pretty natural shot here to just come back down for the 5. Well, this one I think you're going to want to come across table and back for the 6. Maybe a touch of inside. Just misses it. Leaves the table in disgust. Rizzo looking to make this 5 ball come back down for the 6. Just gotta watch the 9 ball. He does clear it. And has enough angle to make something happen here on the 7. I think maybe just want to get up by the 2nd diamond and just play that 7 in the side, roll up for the 8. See if that's what he does. I think he was trying to come back out for the 7 in the top left. That follow caught a little bit off the rail and just didn't get enough movement on the cue ball. But I think can maybe just play the 7 ball in the top right corner and stop where he is. But it's tight with the 9 ball. Yeah, this is not a great position to be in. But he plays that great. Deserved better on that one with that stroke. Played it with some right. Let's see what he decides to do on the 8 ball. I don't believe the bank is on. Unless he crosses it. Just tries to play safe. Does a pretty good job. If Dominic can see a piece of it, it's a very small piece. Not sure if he was trying to cross bank that or just maybe play it to the top rail and leave distance. Not 100% sure. But they're just going to play this 2 rails out of the corner, just get to the middle of the table and play the 9 in the bottom left. Just overrolls it. Both players just still trying to get a grasp on the speed of the table. But this is a makeable shot. This is a shot that Dan makes all the time. So I expect him to make it, and he does. So 2-1, Dan Rizzo over Dominic Feramusca. We are racing to 9. We have Jay Dwyer in the chat asking, did Mike make the top 10 yet? I believe Mike is working on the list. We don't have a top 10 yet. We're still ironing things out, but once the list is completed, we'll make sure that everyone is notified. Jay, when are we going to get you on stream? We got to set up a match. Dan Rizzo to break. Rack 4. Leaves himself hooked on the 2 ball. I think we're going to have a push out coming up here. Unless Dan thinks that the kick is just as good as the push, he could kick at the 2, try to play it across corner, which appears that is what he tried. Let's see what Dominic does here. If he maybe tries to play the carom into the 4 ball, or just plays the 2 ball up the table. I think that's the better shot. Tried to get behind the 9, and he does. Dan moves his coin. Make sure that the score stays accurate between the players. I'm keeping score here, though. Let's see what Dan looks to do here on the 2 ball. Just want to make sure you make contact. If he does have the window between the 9-6, he can just kick behind it. You may make it off the 4, where the 4 is. Just misjudges it and comes wide on that 2 ball, giving Dominic ball in hand. Jay Dwyer says he hopes he's not on it, meaning the list. But he may be playing on stream soon, depending on what weight I will give him. I'm a commentator now, I'm not a player, so I don't know if I should be given weight. I don't play as much anymore. I'm more back office. Somehow Dominic misses ball in hand. I believe that was ball in hand. I got distracted. That would be a shocking miss. But we've all done it. We've all missed ball in hand. Maybe some more than others. Good shot there by Dan. Leaves himself a good angle on the 3 ball. Should just be able to come down table for the 4. Maybe wanted a little bit more angle, so he may have to force this a little bit. Yeah, and that's what causes the miss. He was kind of trying to create an angle that wasn't there. Misses the 3 ball. Dominic's probably going to play the exact same shot he played on the 2 ball earlier, just kind of bank the 3 ball up table and play it with some check side and just leave it behind the 9. We have Fat Bob Benny in the chat. Says Dan and case match is over now. I'm here for more action. Well, we're happy to have you. Thanks for joining. So far this action's been a little bit up and down. Both players just still trying to find a gear. Hasn't been the prettiest pool, but we're still only in rack 4, so we're early in the match. Okay. We got a bunch of balls clumped up in the middle of the table, but Dan does have an open shot on the 3 ball if he makes it. I believe the 4 does go in the top left. All right, Dominic to play this 3 ball. Look to come back out to the middle of the table for the 4 ball. I don't believe it goes in the side, but actually he might be able to draw this back and play the 4 ball in the bottom right corner. I think that's what he tried to do. He just got into it a little bit more than he was hoping. Can he play the carom here, the 4 into the 5? Got some people at the counter blocking my vision. On the monitor, it looks like he could. And that would bring the 4 ball down table. Doesn't do that. path is blocked for the 4 ball, so we're going to look for a defensive shot here. Maybe play the 4-up table and put the cue ball behind the 5. I think that's possibly what he was looking to do. Dominic scoping out his options here on the 4 ball. You could play this and try to bank it in the top right corner, and it's sort of a two-way with those 3 balls as blockers. He just goes straight defense, uses the 6 ball, and plays that nicely. I think Dan's got a piece of it, not enough to make it. Plays that nicely as well. Sends the cue ball down towards the bottom right corner. Dominic has the right side of the 4, but I don't believe he has enough to make it. So he may just be looking to kick off the top rail. Does that. Make sure you get a rail. He does. Hoping that 4 ball climbs up. It doesn't. So I like Dan to get out here. He can play this 4 ball on the side, come around for the 5, and then really it's just stop, stop on the 5-6. Okay. I think you just stop it here. Play the 6 in the side. And then the 7. Okay. Let's see if I can predict right once tonight. My prediction is that Dan will get out here. Okay. See how he plays the 7 ball. You can play it a couple different ways. You can play it with. So I don't think I'm going to play this with inside. I think I'm going to play this with bottom left. Try to come back up. That's what he does. He tries to come across and back. Just doesn't get far enough across, so it's going to leave him a tough shot on the 8 ball. But I think you could just go ahead and just commit to the make here. I don't believe the scratch is on. Just overcuts it. Good attempt there. Beats the scratch by just dragging it with some bottom right. Does a really good job beating the scratch there. I think it was more on than I thought, but just makes the shot extremely difficult, and he overcuts it. And Dominic, I think, is looking to cut this 8 ball. It is cuttable. He's playing it with the extreme left, but really just hits that way too full. Let's see what Dan looks to do here. Nothing easy. He's down on the shot. Looking to play it in the top left. Looks like both these players might have the stream jitters. Playing this with inside. Trying to come back down for the 9. Probably would have just maybe played that a little bit more naturally, especially if you're struggling to make balls. You maybe want to try to avoid using extreme English if possible. And I feel like both these players are still trying to get into a groove, trying to make balls. So you really want to try to use as much center ball as possible. Dan Tries to bank the 8 ball back down. Not a bad shot there. Even though he didn't get it all the way to the bottom rail, which was his intention with the 9 ball there. Really takes away the opportunity for a pot. Dominic's looking to see if he can maybe bump the 9 ball. Nope, just trying to split them. Does a good job there. That shot's tricky sometimes. You have to judge the speed. You know, you can get the cue ball too high and leave your opponent in a shot. You're really just trying to kind of leave the cue ball on one side and the object ball on the other side, and Dominic did a good job of that. Great shot there by Dan. Can't tell if Dominic has a potting angle. He's looking at it, which tells me he can at least see a piece of it. He can make it. He plays that with really, really nice speed. Comes perfect for the 9 ball. Now you want to play position on this 9 ball. Don't just roll it. Okay, does a good job there. Flirts with that side pocket, but ties our score 2-2. Just do a quick score check. I just want to make sure I have that right. Okay, I do have the score accurate. It's 2-2 going into rack 5. Dominic to break. John Amoya says nice shot for Dominic. I agree. Maybe even a better shot on that 8 ball. That thing cut into the side. Sometimes it's easy to overroll the 9 or underroll the 9. But he did a good job. He played the speed perfectly. Was able to tie up the match 2-2.
What's yours?
9.
Good luck.
Okay. So Dan at the table after a dry break. Not an obvious shot on the 1 here. Could push out, which does appear he will be doing. Clears the issue with the 7 and the 8, with the 7 and 8 on top of each other. I think that was a smart. I was about to say I think that was a smart decision. Normally on a push out you want to tie up a ball to ensure you're going to get back to the table, but the way that he played that push out, I liked the decision of untying the 7 and the 8, but not without hitting the 1 ball. You're giving Dominic ball in hand with an open table. Comes up a little bit high on the 2 ball. He's going to have to come sharp. 2 rails. Misses the 2 ball. I think you got to play this with some speed. You're kicking it to make it, but you got to come back out for the 3 ball, so you don't want to hit this soft. That's also easy to do, especially with where the 2 ball was. If you get behind it, it's almost an immediate scratch. Okay, Dominic. His second chance with ball in hand in his last 3 shots. Let's see what he can do here. Just coming across 1 rail for the 3 ball. Make sure you leave yourself an angle to come out for the 4 ball. You really want to get close to straight on this 4 ball to draw it back for the 5. Dominic gives Dan ball in hand right back.
Big winner.
We have Brett in the live chat. Says, get it, Dom. So Dominic's got some friends and family in the chat. We like to see it. I'm sure he'll be playing on stream again in the near future. So if you want to be notified every time we go live, just make sure you subscribe, like, turn on your notifications. Dan leaves himself a healthy angle on this 6 ball. I think he'll just play this with a little bit of inside. Should come up nicely for the 7 ball. Perfect. Every player might want to play this different. For me, I like to try to just kill this off the rail and leave myself that negative angle to come 2 rails for the 9. Reason being is you don't want to leave yourself stretched, and that's what he did here. He may have had too much of an angle to kill that 7 ball, but if you're able to, I like to try to leave that cue ball close to the rail, leave it inside the 8, and then you can go naturally 2 rails down table for the 9. You're not as stretched, especially if you're a left-handed player, which he's not, I'm not, but right-handed still works the same. Now he's stretching. He's going to have to draw this back. Easy to miscue here. Just make sure you concentrate. Misses the 8. Leaves Dominic a very simple out here. Just play this with maybe a hair of inside. Hit that 8-ball a little bit too full. That's why he didn't get all the way down for the 9, but this is more than okay. He cuts that 9-ball in to make it 3-2. Dominic Fieramusca over Dan Rizzo. Sorry, I was having a little issue with the scoreboard there. It is 3-2. We have a really great pro shop here at Bison Billiards. Mike, the owner, has over 200 pool cues in stock for sale. Beginners, intermediate, expert level pool players. There's really something for everyone. The prices range from 100 and up. And Mike's an active dealer for Predator, Jacoby, Viking, P-Shower, Q-Tech, so all the heavy hitters in the pool game, Mike is a dealer for. A lot of great pool cues in the showcases here. Really great selection. So if you're in the market for a new pool stick, come on down to Bison Billiards and take a look at the selection. Talk to Mike. Talk to the others here at Bison Billiards and get you set up with something that'll really make you stand out and take your game to the next level. All right, so Dan here with a shot on the 1 ball, which I do believe passes the 8. Good pocket there, but just a brutal kiss off the back of the 2. Leaves him hook on the 2. Going to be kicking at it. Just trying to kick off the right side of the 2 ball. Send that up table. The cue ball will come back down table. Or you could kick it the other way. Either one works. Dominic playing this with extreme inside English, trying to check the cue ball behind that 3-9. Doesn't do it. Let's see the path that Rizzo has here to come back down for the 2 ball. It's not, or for the 3 ball. It's not easy. Tries to play it up in the corner. Looks like he would have had a shot on the 3 if he were to make that 2 ball. Dominic kicking at the 2 ball. And gets a roll. Guess I shouldn't say he got a roll. It was a good kick on the 2 ball. And there were 2 balls down there to act as blockers, so it's a pretty good chance he was going to get safe there. Let's see what Dan does with this 2 ball. Just banks it across, sends the cue ball up table, creating some distance. The 2 ball passes the 3 ball, so not sure that that's the way he played it, but I'll take it. 3 ball passes the 5 ball. You just roll up for the 4 ball. That's a tough shot when you're rolling it. It's tough to put an accurate stroke on the cue ball. See if Dan wants to cut this with some outside English. Comes around for the 4 ball, plays that really nicely. Does have some work to do with the 7-9. I think with where the 6 ball is, I think you maybe want to attack the 7-9 off of the 5 ball. If he can preserve an angle here to come under the 8 and go into the 7-9, I think that's what you want to do. I think that's what he's looking to do. Yeah, that's what he tried to do. He tried to come above the 8. Again, it's tough to see the angle on the monitor. The players are at the table. They know what's best, but it looked like he maybe could have come under the 8 and bumped the 7 ball. He could really attack it again here. The cue ball sort of stuns off that 6 ball. Not a lot of options here. Don't believe he can cross bank it. Maybe he can just slightly cross it, and good attempt there. I didn't know if that shot was on, but based on how he missed it, it was on. So I give him kudos for trying that. Dominic kicking. Gets good contact on the 7 ball, but he's going to leave Dan a shot. But the funny thing is the 8 ball is now tied up with the 9 ball. The 8 ball doesn't go in that side pocket, I don't believe. I think this is a situation where you might just try to get on the 8-9 combo, which is not something you see all that often where you're playing for an 8-9 combo, but I don't really see too much else here. Yeah, I think that's what he played for. I think that's what he's going to have to shoot. And he got perfect. At least from my point of view, he got perfect on this 8-9 combo. I think you got to shoot it. You're down 3-2. Looks like he might have to just cut it ever so slightly. Oh, he doesn't play it. That's a better shot. He shows his discipline there. I got to give it to Dan Rizzo. I probably would have just fired at the combo, but now after seeing it, he certainly played the right shot. I don't think I have the discipline to play that. But I'm a sometimes reckless, aggressive player, I've been told. That's a good hit. Oh, he just misses the 8. I thought that was good when he shot it. Certainly Dan's going to get out here with ball in hand to make it 3-3. Rattles that one home. So we got a 3-3 match. I mentioned earlier that we have a tournament here every Saturday of the year. But we got a big one coming up here early part of December, December 6th and 7th. Mike and the gang here at Bison Billiards are going to be hosting a $5,000 added weekend tournament. It's going to be a $4,000 added bar box 8-ball tournament and then a $1,000 added second chance tournament on Sunday. We're going to be playing the final 16 of Saturday's tournament, finishing on Sunday. And the entry fees are Fargo based. For more information, stay tuned to the Bison Billiards Facebook page. Or come see us, and I'm sure everyone here at Bison Billiards would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. That's going to be a big one. I'm excited for that. December 6th and 7th. I'm sure we'll get a lot of big-time players from across the region, across the state, and probably across the country. International. Got a lot of the Canadian players coming down for a tournament with those dollars at stake. Dominic, good position here on the 2-ball. Everything is open. No reason he shouldn't get out here.
For a guy who wears open-toed shoes, I feel like you keep the ball on the table.
All right. A little hampered by the 4-ball, but really you just got to make this. Just roll it in. Just be careful of the scratch. Now you're going to be coming up to the top rail, back down for the 5. Don't believe that's how he played it, but he's lucky not to hit that 8 ball. Can just come above the 6 here. Not doing that. He's going to get a roll here. He's not going to leave Dan with an easy shot on the 5 ball. I think this is one that you can bank, though. Maybe come back into the 9. Likes to play safe. Doesn't get the hook, but with the cue ball tight on the bottom rail and the 5 ball floating in the middle of the table, nothing easy for Dominic here. Not sure what to say about that shot. It was a great shot on the 5 ball. But he was playing it to a spot where he wouldn't have had a shot on the 6 ball. And he scratches to make matters worse. Dan with no choice but to play the 6 ball in the top right corner. It's the only place it goes. But he can just stop it there for the 7. Just hangs it. I talked about it during the first match. That pocket is tough. You really got to hit that pocket clean. This sometimes isn't the easiest shot. It's not. But a pretty straightforward save here, though. You can clip off the right side of the 7. He's not doing that. He's going to hit the 7 ball full. That might even be better. Let's see if Dan can see the 7 ball clean. Even if he can, there's really no way to get on this 8 ball. You know, you're tight to the bottom rail. You only got the top half of the cue ball. You're just not going to be able to come across for the 8 ball. That's a really unfortunate kiss there. A good jump, good contact on the 7. It double kisses. Scratches in the top right corner, giving Dominic an incredible opportunity here to take the lead at 4-3. Not sure I love the position on that 8 ball. I think he wanted to maybe come out more to the center of the table, but he's going to come across for the 9. Play the 9 in the bottom right corner. But that's why I didn't like that position. It makes that shot a lot tougher. Let's see what Dan can cook up here on this 8 ball. Really good shot at it. It's just both of these players are just rattling balls and they're not getting some friendly rolls. Feels like this table has tightened up since the first match. He's playing this with inside. He's got to come around, use some oomph. He does. Gets on the 9 ball. This 9 ball to take a 4-3 lead. Just play this with some center ball, or you could play this with some bottom right. Come around. See, I don't like rolling that for that very reason. I like to play position for a ghost ball. Every time I'm shooting a 9 ball, I like to play position for a ghost ball. I feel like it settles my nerves a little bit. It just forces me to put a more solid stroke on the ball. You know, use the rails, make sure I'm not scratching. But Dominic chose to roll the 9-ball there and doesn't get away with it. And concedes to Dan Rizzo. So Dan will now take a 4-3 lead in this match. We are racing to 9. Dan's had a lot of luck breaking from the right side of the table. So I think that that's what he's going to continue to do. He's been making this wing ball in this bottom left corner. In this case, it would be the 5-ball. So let's see if the 5-ball goes in for him. Doesn't. Can't tell if Dominic can cut this 1-ball. He's looking at the 2, which tells me he can cut it. He's got to be careful where the cue ball goes. Okay. He's perfect on the 2-ball. Now, based on where the 4-ball is, I think if you can get high on the 3, if you can come on top of it, I think that's what you want to do. That's the exact thought that he had. Some players may have just stopped it and tried to play the 3 on the side and manufacture something on the 4. I don't like that. I like coming above the 3. Now you got options. Good job there. Now he does have to worry about the 5-ball. It looks like he's going to be colliding with the 6-ball. Watch out for the scratch here. Double kisses it. Plays to double kiss it. Good thought there by Dominic to play for the double kiss. Let's see what Dan can do here with this 4-ball buried in the pocket. Always makes these shots more difficult. I think maybe you just want to try to just play it off the right side of the 4. His right, our left. Just take some, yeah. Yeah, that always, anytime the ball is buried that deep into the pocket, funny things happen. It's difficult to judge where the cue ball is going to go, you know. You think you can just draw it out or maybe play it rail first. I think sometimes with those types of shots, you just need to just worry about making it, and even if you leave yourself long on the next shot, at least you know you're going to have a shot. Good shot there on the 6-ball. And Dominic can come around the 8 here. Just play the 7 in the top right. Come around the back side of the 8. Play the 8 in the top left. Okay, good shot there. And now you're home free. Just come back out to the middle of the table. Play the 9 on the left side. Not sure why he checked that. Looked like he played that with some inside. He checked the cue ball off the rail. Leaves himself a much more difficult cut than he needed to have. Does cut it though, and he's going to scratch. And I mean, really, that really just boils down to how he played that 8-ball. I mean, he had a great angle on the 8-ball just to come to the middle of the table, play the 9-ball on the side, and I don't know if it was the stretch or what, but he checked it with some inside and just got way too thin on that 9-ball. And when you're shooting a ball that thin, you're just letting the cue ball go, and anything can happen. All right, so Dan Rizzo takes a 5-3 lead. Again, I don't have it up on the screen, but we are racing to 9. So his magic number is 4. Take the victory. Switches up his break position after not as good of a spread on his last break. Doesn't bear any fruit. So we are going to bring Dominic to the table, see what he can do with this one ball. I think he can just slow roll this. Hold up for the 2. Does a good job with that. The 3 ball doesn't pass the 5 ball, so really you're just making this, trying to set yourself up for a defensive shot, I believe. Unless the angle is deceiving me. Actually, now that I'm looking at the table live, he can make the 3 ball. So just stop it there. Loses control of the cue ball just a touch. He's going to have to play the 4 ball in the top left corner now. Just stop it there, and then you're going to have the 5 ball, or you just shot the 3 ball. Just leave yourself an angle because you're going to have to come back up for the 6. Does have an angle. You can just play this with some follow. Just a touch of inside, follow. Perfect. Leaves himself a good angle. Make sure he doesn't get straight. Just play this with some follow. Come back down for the 7. I think he was just a little bit too worried about the position on the 7, caused him to miss the 6. But he leaves Dan with a challenge here to get back for the 7. The way that I would play this is I would come all the way back down to the bottom rail and then come back up for the 7 in the top left. I don't think that's how he's going to play it, though. Yeah, see, you're coming down that far just to play this shot on the 7. What I would like to do is just play that with a little bit more speed. You're going to hit the bottom rail, come back up for the 7. You're going to be a little bit closer, easier to make. Leaves himself tough, and he misses the shot. So I think if you're a little bit closer on that 7 ball, I think you're going to increase your chances of making it and being able to play position for the 8. Great shot there by Dominic, but it does get past the 8 ball. So let's see what Dan Rizzo can do on this. I think he can play this in the bottom left and just beat the 9. But being at the table, they're able to see a lot more than I can. I'm looking at a computer monitor, but it does appear he can play this in the bottom left and just come straight up for the 8. Tries to hold it. Okay. It's a safety opportunity here for Dominic. I don't know if he can just thin the 7, put it behind the 9. Actually, I don't think he can. I think he's a little bit too full on the 7 to play that. See if he can play the 7 all the way up. That's what he looks to do, and that's a great shot by Dominic. But that pocket is a killer. You have to hit that pocket clean. The players here who play on that table all the time know if you catch any part of that rail, there's a very good chance that ball is going to hang up, which it did. Dan Rizzo. Again, with the ball hanging in the pocket, cue ball can get away from you a little bit, and that's what it does, but looks like he can maybe bank it cross side and maybe come underneath the 9 if he's feeling good, or he can just kind of play the 8 ball to the top rail. That's what he does. Just got to watch out for the scratch. Well, does a good job. Dominic has a cut on this, but the cue ball is going to be flying. Where it stops, nobody knows. Beats the scratch there and leaves Dan with another tough cut. I think he can cut this and possibly run into the 9. If I'm him, I'm going for this and just taking whatever I'm left. He is going to run into the 9, like I said. I think if he would have made it, he would have ran into the 9. All right, Dominic. Looking to bury the final 2 balls on the table. Does a good job, brings it around 2 rails. Plays it into the second toughest pocket on this table. I don't want to jinx him, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. He misses that by about a half a diamond. Concedes the rack. Dan Rizzo goes up 6-3. Going into rack 10. Any score predictions in the chat? We got almost a dozen viewers, so I know that there's some people out there that might want to make a prediction on this match. Can Dominic make the comeback, or is Dan Rizzo going to run away with it? More so, what do you think's going to happen, not what do you want to happen? Let's be friendly to both players. Okay. The 2 and the 5 ball both go down in the same corner pocket. Good shot on the 1 ball. All the balls are open. Dan has a good opportunity to go up 7-3 here. Matt Mandola in the chat says 9-6 sticks. That's a good prediction. Matt predicting that they will split the next 6 racks. Okay. Dan plays that rail first, gets full on the 3 ball. Dominic just, at this point, it looks like he's just getting to the table and taking a quick swing at it. I think he needs to settle down and refocus. I mean, it's only 6-3. Very easily could he get back in the match if he just strings a couple racks together. Great shot there by Dan to hold for the 4 ball. Looks like he can just bring it down table for the 6. You want to get a little bit straight on this 6 ball to roll up for the 7. Okay. Maybe the second best angle. You can just bring this off the side rail and then back between the 7-9. That's what he does. Just doesn't get into the cue ball enough. So it slides off the rail underneath the 7. Still an opportunity here to slice the 7 up to the top right corner, and the 8 ball does go on the side. He says, I'm just going to play safe instead. Dominic not at the top of his game right now, so may have been a wise move for Dan there to just play safe, see what Dominic can do here. But a really good shot there by Dominic. Does leave Dan a shot on the 7, but he's over the 9. Another good attempt at a defensive play there, but I think Dominic's happy with this opportunity. He can just play this with some bottom right. Come over. Needs a good bump off the 8. He gets it. Now he's going to go into the 9. Just got to make sure you're playing this with the right speed. It looks like, based on my angle, it looks like the 9 ball is going to be going towards that bottom left corner. So you just want to play this with a soft speed. He plays it with a harder speed. Misses the 8. Sends the 9 ball back up table. Let's see if Dan goes for the bank here. He does. I think he's going to leave that 8 ball tough, though. Okay, so I think this is a pretty easy defensive play here. You're just going to want to roll the cue ball behind the 9. Okay, just like that. But Dan's going to play the 1 rail kick, looking to make the 8 ball on the side. If he does, he's going to have a shot on the 9. Plays that nicely. Gonna hit the 8. But Dominic with a really good opportunity here to get a rack back. Just make this 8 ball. If you make the 8 ball, you're gonna have a great shot on the 9. Does make it. I think he should take a couple extra seconds here. I don't think he should just get down and fire at it. Yeah, see. I don't like his pace right now. I think, especially when you're shooting at the 9 ball, I think you got to maybe just take a couple extra seconds, take a couple extra breaths, and all right, so Dan Rizzo goes up 7-3. We're racing to 9, so Dan needs 2. Dominic needs 6. Dominic not out of the match, but you almost feel like this rack is a must-win for Dominic if he wants to tighten things up and maybe put a little pressure on Dan. I mean, right now with a 4-rack lead going to 9, not a lot of pressure on Dan Rizzo, which makes things a little bit easier when you're getting down on shots. If you got a healthy lead and you feel like your opponent's not playing well, the pockets look like they double in size sometimes. So I think Dominic needs to win a rack here to put a little pressure on Dan. It just doesn't appear he can do it at the moment. Okay, you can see the 1 ball, 2 balls hanging. So, really good opportunity here. You just got to roll down, get to the 2nd diamond. Okay. I think he can see the 3 ball. I think he can see enough of it to make it. He didn't want that steep of an angle. Just got to be careful of the 6 ball. Dominic's just not playing his game right now. Dominic and I play a ton of 9 ball together, and when he's in stroke, he's tough to beat. It's just right now, you can tell he's in his own head a little bit. So let's see if Dan Rizzo can capitalize. Just plays a containing shot there. And I think he got Dominic. I think he can see a piece of it, but I don't think he can make it. Oh, he can. I'm way off. All right. Take a couple extra seconds here and think of your options here with the 4-ball. I don't think you just want to get down and fire the 4-9. It's a very low percentage shot. I think you could find something a little bit better. That's the shot I was going to say, and he does a really good job. I like that shot a lot. I was going to say maybe try the cross corner bank because it's going to give you a position on the 5 if you make it. Just rattles that 5-ball. See if Dan can beat the scratch here. Can. Comes back down. I also like Dan to maybe cross bank this. You cross bank it, you make it. You're really cross banking it for the win based on where the 7, 8, 9 are. I think you take your shot. You're up 7-3. He does it, and he does it nicely. Takes my suggestion. I don't think he could hear me. He's got his earbuds in, so that was all him. Play this 7-ball, get out your extension or the bridge, play the 7-ball, come back up for the 8 in the side, or maybe the 8 in the top right corner. I can't really tell the angle. Nope, he does come up for the side. I think that was the right move. I think just play this with some bottom right, come 2 rails off the top rail and the side rail. Nope, he just holds it. I think I sometimes like to move the cue ball more than the average player. So a lot of my shot predictions are going to be, you know, come in 1 rail, come in 2 rails, come in 3 rails, where, you know, some players, if they feel like they have the right angle, they'll just try to kind of hold it and maybe take a longer shot. I'm always trying to get a little bit closer. And I think moving the cue ball sometimes lends itself to that. But nonetheless, Dan Rizzo wins that rack and goes up 8-3. He is now on the hill. 1 rack to win. Can he do it?
Not bad. I only played 9-ball tonight. They dropped me down to well, so I had just moved up to a 4-ball and then started playing 9-ball, so I had to start 9-ball first time.
Both players taking a look at their
Yes.
cell phones.
So I kind of enjoy going to 3 now because I don't get nearly as many balls in, which is nice. I don't know. I thought you would start the same way you did.
Making sure that their wives and girlfriends don't think that they're ignoring them.
So yeah, question was actually played that.
We've all been there. Shout out to my wife Emma, though. I can say in the years that we've been together, I think she's maybe only texted me once or twice while I was in a match, so I give her major kudos for that. Thank you, honey. Dan banks the 1 ball back down, but leaves Dominic a shot here to make the 1 and bring it across table for the 2 in the top right corner. Just misses the 1. Didn't get into the cue ball enough anyway. I don't want to say Dominic's given up on this match, but he's looking pretty dejected sitting in his stool. But he's a fighter. I think he'll battle back. All right, Dan. Playing a nice safety shot there behind the 3. Not what Dominic wanted to come to the table and see. I think right now he would like to see an open table with all the balls hanging. Good contact there on the 1. Can he get a roll? He does. 1 ball tied up with the 7 ball. Cue ball down here near the magic rack. I think you just maybe thin the left side of the 1. Try to bring the cue ball off the left side rail, back up to the top rail, and is he trying to do something with the 9 ball here? No. At the Pink Pony Club. Dominic here looking to cut the 1 ball into the 2 ball. And just like his night's been going, scratches. That could be all she wrote if Dan plays this pattern correctly. Everything's open. I think the 3 ball passes the 7. So I would play this to put the cue ball on the left rail. And that's exactly what he does. So he can come 2 rails. I would actually come 3 rails. I'd want to hit that 3rd rail. Play the 3 in the bottom right corner. Looks like Dan and I are on the same wavelength right now. No. Oh, it must not go. The 3 must not go by the 7. Yeah, he tried to come and play the 3 ball in the bottom left. Carom shot into the 9? I think it's on. Ooh, just misses it. I'm not sure if he was going for that, but that shot was on. All right, Dominic. Let's bury a few balls here. Let's get the confidence going. Dominic avoids the scratch there. Not easy to get position on this 7 ball. He's going to have to really come with a stroke here. Oh, he cross banks it. That's a heck of an attempt. And probably the right play. It is the right play because, you know, it's sort of a 2-way. It gives you a chance at a safety shot too. If you miss it short, it's going to end up just like it did. Dan's going all out for the bank. Might leave this difficult as well if it sits on the rail, which it does. Again, not the shot Dominic wants to see. When you're not shooting well, you don't want shots like this. But he plays it, and he's going to get good. He's going to get good, and we're gonna have an 8-4 match. That I'm confident of. Not sure. Just bear down. All right, 8-4. If he wins 2 more, I'll officially say we have a new ball game. I don't want to go that far yet. It was just 1 rack. 8-4. Dominic choosing to use the standard triangle. Not someone who likes the magic rack for whatever reason. Breaking from the left side. Takes a little bit off that break. Trying to channel his inner Corey duel with that soft break. Trying to play some sort of a positional break. Doesn't do it. And again, all the balls are open for Dan. Just plays that way too soft. But pretty straightforward safe here. Just he double kissed it. Scratches. All right, Dominic here, ball in hand on the 2-ball. Plays for the 3-ball in the same pocket, but just his speed is not there right now. He's gonna have to play this with some bottom right, come off the other side rail. It goes into the 4. He would have had a shot, but he misses the 3. Natural position here, just make the 3-ball. Touch of inside. Come over for the 4-ball. Just misses it. Dominic probably wants to play this kind of maybe rail first. Nope, he just punches it. Just draw this out, play the 5 in the side. Wants to play the 5 in the same pocket. Great shot. Assuming it goes, he's looking at it. You want to make sure you get on the other side of the 6. And that's what I saw. Trying to swerve this and make the 6. He does. It really boils down to this 7-ball. If he can make the 7-ball, you really just got to concentrate on making the 7-ball. Don't even think about position on the 8. You take what you can get, but you got to make the 7-ball. Plays that really nice. All right, 8-ball, same pocket. Come across for the 9. Watch out for the scratch. And that's going to wrap things up, folks. Dan Rizzo takes the match 9-4. Again, we thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Next Monday night, we have another Monday Night Melee. Just to give you a preview of the upcoming matches. The undercard at 7 o'clock, we're going to have Brad Wesley versus Jake Jackson. And then the main event at 8:45 is going to be a makeup match from tonight. Jake Miosi taking on Danny Colads, race to 15 and 9-ball. So again, that's going to get started at 7 o'clock next Monday. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you again real soon.